What's up, and welcome back to the Kind of Funny Gamescast live for Thursday, October 17th, 2024. Of course, I am your host, Tim Geddes. Today, I am joined by Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Good day, Tim.
Andy Cortez.
Great day, Tim.
And Greg Miller.
In the YouTube chat before we went live, Darko513 says, why the f*** are y'all rating a partner showcase? Why the f*** are you watching it, Darko? There's the real question. Huh?
Darko?
Maybe you took your little fat hot dog sausage fingers off the keyboard, cracked a bookie, and learned something. But no, you're here to do this and eat this slop. So f***ing get in here, piggy, and get the trough.
Oink, oink.
All I did was talk to this dog yesterday. All right. All I did was talk to the dog.
Someone in the chat was asking who the dog is.
Everybody, this is Cole the Wiener Dog. He's very camera shy, as you can see.
Used to be Mike.
Turn around here.
Yeah.
Mike.
Turned into a dog. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Last night a witch came through, kind of funny.
Mike, you put a little microphone on him. He's like, "Yeah, I bought some pills off a Instagram algorithm." Slappy.
God, Mike is sick.
Said
Probably not because
said they make me longer, but not the way I thought. See what I mean? See what I did there?
Yeah. I did see what you did there, Greg.
Remember, comment, man. No, it's just not great.
Remember, this is the Kind of Funny Gamescast each and every week. Plus, I don't know why you got involved. You know what I mean? I feel more betrayed than I should right now.
It's so stuck in my head right now.
In your words.
Tim, you had one day. You had one day to be professional, and now I'm back. All right,
Yeah.
so
Do
Do it one more time for me.
Is Black Myth Wukong combat bad?
No, it's just not great.
Woo! We need to find. Right now, there's a bunch of hotel workers striking. Let's go give them the afternoon off because I'm ready to chant. Let's just go march. I just want to march and chant.
Didn't know where that was going.
Cool, Greg, give me the Home Depot bucket and flip it over. We gotta. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's get out there and support them. Workers' rights. The combat's just not great.
Holy hell, everybody. This is the Kind of Funny Gamescast, where each and every weekday we get together to talk about the biggest reviews, previews, and topics in video games live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, please support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon or YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. For a chance to be part of the show, you can submit your thoughts and opinions as YouTube super chats as we go. A little housekeeping for you. You already got our live reactions that we just did to the Xbox Partner Showcase. We're going to do Games Daily after this, and then after that, it's going to be more Alien Isolation. Andy, how'd it go yesterday? You and Nick streaming. There was a fog machine. I had to go to Spirit Halloween and buy fog.
We didn't get to the reserve fog, luckily, but I definitely feel like all of that sort of fog juice is in my nostrils still.
Yeah.
Still smelling it. Woke up this morning, still smelled it. Yeah.
It was a
good show.
very cool effect you guys had going on there.
looks
Where you were
cool.
fogging the little room and you had the green light coming through.
Yeah,
Then you pointed out that you had a trophy behind you and a poster of a basketball player. It kind of took away from the vibe, but it was
Yeah.
also the vibes were great.
Oh, yeah.
Vibes
How
were
was the
good.
game, though?
The game's cool, and it was really difficult in moments. And of course, I had to try to keep Nick on track, which is hard because I am really hard to keep on track. It wasn't a great pairing, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, the whole time I'd be like, Nick, light the flare and toss it. He's like, I can't do that. It keeps putting it on the ground. I'm like, well, you're spamming X. You have to just hit it once and it'll light it, and then you can have the throw thing. So we were learning like how to play the game, and apparently this 20-hour game, I feel like the first, 2 or 3 hours of the game took us about 5 hours.
Okay.
So like we're learning, we're getting through it. Nick also decided to just go like full melee, like he's playing BioShock. It's like, no, it's a stealth game. You're not supposed to be attacking all these androids, but he was.
Yeah.
And he committed a lot of murder yesterday.
In space.
Wow. Yeah, in space. Yeah.
Wow. And he's going to continue today, later when we do the stream on YouTube and Twitch. If you're a Kind of Funny member, you can get today's Greg Way, which is a review of Dragon Age Vows and Vengeance.
Final episode's out right now.
Very cool.
Yep.
I didn't know you kept with it the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Awesome shit. And then you can get Dr. Sleep and review this afternoon and tomorrow on YouTube and podcast services. Greg Miller, have you seen The Shining?
Of course.
Have you seen Dr. Sleep?
Of course.
Dr. Sleep's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to talk about this movie later.
Two great
It
movies.
is not what I expected whatsoever.
No?
So cool.
Red
Ewan
Room?
McGregor, man.
Red
and
Room?
Andy. Rebecca Ferguson.
Oh.
As like a witch.
Oh my
Magic
God.
witch.
That's a dream come true.
She has this little hat. It's crazy.
love
Thank
her.
you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs and Delaney Twining. Today, we're brought to you by New World Eternum, but we'll tell you about that later. It's time to get to the topic of the show. The Xbox Partner Showcase for October 2024 just happened. A slightly new format for them, a little more similar to the state of plays that we see from PlayStation, or at least the old state of plays, where no human, we just hear a voice, we get some headlines, we check in on them, and then we're out. Just a whole bunch of video games, more than I expected to see, if I'm being honest. Greg Miller, I want to start with you. What did you think overall of this showcase?
Coming in, at the top of it, we said, hey, what are your hype levels? I said I was probably like a 6, right? You know what I mean? Oh, sure, I'm not like pumped. I'm glad to hang out with you guys. I'm excited to see what they have to a degree. And I think it delivered on that. I think this is a 6 out of 10. This was okay. I wasn't like the majority of these games, with the exception, the majority of these games, I was like, all right, cool. I don't think I'll ever play it, but I'm glad there's stuff that's coming out and they're doing this thing. And of course, partner showcases are always great for fulfilling your marketing obligations. And hey, we're, going to give you the spotlight, but you go through this and I had fun watching it with you guys, of course, because we're friends. But then of course, just in general, I think even if I would have watched this at home while I was eating breakfast or something, I would have had fun enough with it. Of like, okay, cool. I'm glad I did that. Exciting to see Alan Wake, the lake house at the top. Fuck yeah. And then to see FBC close it out, right? I was like, oh, that was unexpected. That's really cool. And I definitely want to talk about that game and what we want and think about that. But overall, as a showcase, it was okay. 6 out of 10.
This episode is brought to you by New World Eternum. New World Eternum is a thrilling action RPG experience for console and PC players with a vibrant world, vast and beautiful setting, dynamic real-time action combat, and the freedom for players to choose how to forge their destiny. Combat is skill-based and dynamic, incorporating swords, guns, and sorcery so that you can build one character to rule them all as you explore Eternum and unravel the mysteries of the supernatural island that you can't leave. You love playing RPGs alone? You can in New World Eternum, or play cooperatively with your friends as you complete quests, get better gear, and level up. Greg played this at Summer Game Fest on PlayStation 5 and was caught off guard by how much he enjoyed it and how many hours he said he could see himself sinking into the final product. There's boss fights, cool enemies, crossplay, resource gathering, and crafting. So yeah, this sounds like a Greg game. New World Eternum is available now on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Andy Cortez.
I'm right with Greg. I would go 5 out of 5, 5.5 out of 10. I think, but that in no way really, I didn't feel like super negative about it in any way. The thing I'm most happy about is that it helps me remember and kind of earmark dates, because there's so many games that are coming out. There's so many games that are easy to forget about, and you go, oh shit, that's still in development. Like I did about 3 times today or whatever. I'm just happy to see the new glimpses at games, and of course some of them I feel like, I'm not trying to be too much of a pessimist, but Blind Fire seems like one that is like a dead on arrival type game. Sucks, but that's just, we've seen a whole lot of these happen already. But a lot of other decent looking games. I liked getting more of a look at Mouse, PI for Hire. I was hoping we had a definitive date on that. But by the end of it, I was very shocked to see this FBC Firebreak video game, which I thought was just never going to happen. But egg's on my face, Tim.
The egg is on your face. Bless, what about you?
Yeah, I think this is a fun one to talk about, because I'm a little bit with, Chubby Fingers in chat, whoever Greg was shouting at.
Yeah.
Darko, Sausage Fingers, who was like,
Milicic.
I'm of the mind a little bit of like, I don't even know how to rate this thing or like why to rate this thing, right? I think, when we talk about showcases oftentimes and putting numbers to things, I often think of, all right, what's the best showcase I've seen? What's the worst showcase I've seen? And it feels dumb for me to like try to compare this to a PlayStation E3 2017, which I think is like a 20 or a 10 out of 10, right? I look at this.
But now you're getting into, hey, I want you to review this My Little Pony game, and you're like, well, I can't give it a 9 because I gave this amazing RPG a 9.
Yeah,
it's great on what it was, brother.
But that's my thing with this is like, they announced this a few days ago, and I very much, this is one of the rare circumstances where I've not had to talk about it on a piece of content. I've not had to think about it. I've not had to predict anything. And so I saw it get announced, and I was like, oh, it's one of the partner previews, and I immediately just wiped it from my brain, and I showed up today. I was like, oh, we're doing this thing, and I had zero expectations of it, right? Like to the point where Tim asked me at the beginning of the thing, like, what's your hype level? And I'm like, I don't really have a hype level because I'm just expecting this to be commercials. And coming in with that expectation, I had a pretty good time, right? Like I wasn't expecting to see the Control multiplayer game that they've been talking about for years. I wasn't expecting to see a trailer for Eternal Strands, which is a game I'm looking forward to, right? I wasn't expecting to see Wheel World, right? Like there's a good handful of games here. Animal Welcome into Xbox, and I'm like, oh man, even for a showcase / preview that I thought was just going to be here's a bunch of trailers for third party, here's a bunch of commercials for third party things. The ones that we got, I thought were pretty good, and I think if we're talking about did this live up to what it wanted to be, I think it did a good job at being that. And so if I'm giving it a score, I'll give it a 7.5. I thought it was a pretty good time.
Look at that. Good job, Les.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm at a 7. I think this is good. Comparing this to other similar showcases of this format or the style of format of it is more just third party things. It is a partner showcase. Like Andy was saying, FBC Firebreak didn't expect to see that, and I feel like having a little like book-ended Remedy situation is awesome, and I love whenever we see that at showcases. It's rare, but it's cool. Especially bookending it with something that people really want with the DLC, and then something that we're kind of it's more of an X factor that I'm sure we'll talk about later. But even that mouse is something I've been looking for updates on. Wish we got a little bit more info than just 2025. That still feels so vague to me that I'm like, I'm not sure I believe you about that. You know?
Sure.
But it looks. I'm very excited for that game, and I have.
That's one, I'm excited to get hands on with and see if it lives up to its amazing presentation.
Totally. And I just feel like overall there was a lot of games here, and they went through them quickly enough, and like I feel like there was enough news here and enough moments of that looks kind of cool that it wasn't an offensive or it wasn't a bad showcase by any means. And I feel that there was a couple announcements that are cool, like Animal Well coming to Xbox. Like that is Roger's game of the year so far, so they're just coming to more places. I also appreciate the style of trailer that had, actually having Donkey talk. Like having fun like that, I think, goes a long way for making these showcases actually feel like they're worth watching. Getting updated Yakuza Like a Pirate thing, that game looks absolutely insane in the best ways, and I'm happy that people are getting it and are happy because it looks wild. And then what was the one that had the Onimusha vibes?
Wuchang
Fallen Feathers. That looks sick. Like that looked really sick. It looks very similar to a lot of other games that have come out recently, but I think that's just video games. I can say that probably about most of the things here. And then Legend of Babu. Into it, don't have much faith in it, but I liked watching the trailer. It made me a little happy. So yeah, I'm going with 7. That was a good showcase because had a couple genuine surprises for me that I feel like they pulled off well.
Man, I must have zoned out during Legend of Babu. What the hell was that?
That was the one where like this looks like a less good Kenna.
Oh, right.
Pooch. We got a couple super chats. Jordan White, this was before. Well, actually, no, we already did that. We got Daniel May saying this feels like revenge on Mike for Game Showdown. Yeah, Mike's not here because of his wrongdoings.
Exactly. He understands why he's serving a 2-day suspension.
He knows why.
Cozy Bear says Anthony Gallegos is working on Subnautica 2.
Hey!
Nice. Very sick. And then Bam 255019 says Xbox and PlayStation need to learn it can be an email.
But the contract states that they will promote the games that they are partnering with. So no, an email wouldn't suffice for what they're doing when they say we'll help market the game.
I also think that this type of showcase, the way that they market it and present it as the partner showcase, like that's what this is.
What were you expecting?
Like, that's
to turn around the audience who's upset, like it's a 3 out of 10. Like, well, yeah, it's not a E3 presentation, but they never made it seem like it was going to be that.
And it could have been a 3 out of 10. This wasn't. Like it could have been for what these things are. We've seen that many, many times of like really bad partner showcases that don't have anything interesting and do just feel like, wow, this is like the type of just agreements that y'all made that none of us are interested in. But having games, I feel like all of us have something that was in this that's like, oh, I'm interested in this game and learning more about it. Like that's more than a 3 out of 10.
I mean, this is like not a mean or rude way, right? But like to that point of this could have been an email, I think you also could have not watched it. Like this isn't something that Xbox is like everybody in our community, every single person has to have eyes on this. That is an Xbox showcase during an E3 or Summer Game Fest, right? This is one that if we weren't doing the live reaction, I don't know if I would have watched this. I probably would have caught the updates on Twitter and been like, oh shit, we got a new trailer for Wuchang, or we got a new trailer for FBC Firebreak, right? Like this is one that I think for how they presented it being announced 2 days before, it being a partner preview, I think this is exactly what it has advertised itself to be.
Yeah. And I just feel like they didn't waste time with it. But Andy?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think one thing I'm extremely excited about that I kind of just brushed off is Subnautica being a very, very popular survival game for a very, very long time. People wanting a co-op thing, me wanting co-op, and I think that would be such great content to, swim off somewhere and just holy shit, there's a big ass like squid or whatever. That world is like begging for that sort of content. And early access games are a dime a dozen. They always come to PC first, and like the fact that this is going to be PC and Xbox Series S and X is really damn cool. Like, and it is a Game Pass or Series S and X, like, you know, just release or whatever, along with PC. It's very, very rare for a PC game generally to come out and say, hey, we're Steam Early Access at first. When can I get this? Oh, who knows? Console date to be released later. They're really, really awesome. They're right from the get-go. It'll be on those consoles.
Yeah. And to your point, I think it is interesting, and at this point, like, not a surprise how much focus PC gets in these Xbox showcases. Like, some of the games, like even the HUD was like PC commands. It wasn't even controller commands. And I just feel like that's just turning of the tides, a changing of the tides when it comes to the way that Xbox and even just gamers as a whole separate PC gaming versus console gaming, and how that separation is getting less and less, like, by the day.